Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new edition of the show, Stock Up, Stock Down edition, immediate reaction. What we'll be doing here every Sunday after the game, I'll be here. Joey, I'm sure, will be joining me some every now and then, but we'll have a rotating array of guests joining me to break down the game that just happened, give you one player that looked good, one player that looked bad. I'll do the same, and then we'll get out of here. One player, or coach, or thing, it doesn't just have to be a player. Joey, thank you so much for joining me here for this first ever show. And of course, we'll dive into the game deeper on Monday too. Forgot to mention that. But Joey, thanks so much for joining me. How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing, you know what, man? It's always tough after a Broncos loss. It's never easy. It's never easy. Tomorrow, Zach, we're probably gonna hop on here with Bree and do some Broncos therapy. Let the feelings die down, and we're gonna get into this. But I'm excited about the stock up, stock down. For those that don't know, Zach is the originator of the Broncos stock up, stock down. Everyone you see, it's a little popular out there now. It's a little
Denver
popular.
Post.
Everybody,
it's around. It's around.
Everyone might be doing these little stock up, stock down, these little, I even see videos now. That's new. That's what we're going to hop on. Zach's been writing articles about that for years. Let's talk about it. Years. So I'm excited to get into it with the originator of the stock up, stock down. Yeah, I'm feeling pumped up for this, although very depressed about the Broncos per usual. It's nothing out of the ordinary, though.
Yeah, I absolutely hear that, Joey. Well, let's just get right into it. That said, what is your first stock down of the day? We'll start with stock down so we can end on a positive note. What's your first stock down of the day?
Yeah, I mean, the most blatant one, dude, it has to be Damari Mathis. That was really, really rough. He was fried, cooked, well done. Any word you want to use.
Poached.
Not good.
Over
That
hard.
was today. It felt like the Broncos wanted to go man-on-man with Surtain and Devontae Adams because, honestly, Surtain dominated that matchup. Like, seriously, he dominated that matchup. But whenever they went that way, what'd they do? They threw straight at Damari Mathis. Jacoby Myers lit his ass up. Seriously. It was bad for Damari Mathis out there. And it's not like he was being cooked by DeAndre Hopkins or one of these elite NFL wide receivers. It was Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers is solid, but I'm not trying to draft Jacoby Myers first round in my PPR league, and that's what it felt like today with Damari Mathis on him. It really, really felt bad, and it's scary. Luckily, the Broncos did draft a guy that could replace him in the future, but that's a rookie. How much better is that guy going to be than Damari Mathis? If I'm looking, this is stock down, but I'm gonna shine a little light on it, I guess. Damari Mathis in his first game last year really, really struggled. So, and ended up bouncing back in the season, got better. It felt like every single game. Hopefully that's the same trajectory he has this year, because if it stays like it is now, it's scary. It's spooky out here for the Broncos. So definitely stock down Damari Mathis all day long.
Yeah, I think that is the most glaring one. I'm really curious to see the tracking data once that comes out from PFF. It's not perfect by any means, but I am curious, what did Surtain hold Adams to? Because I feel it was probably pretty impressive, and I think the Damari Mathis numbers are going to be pretty ghastly. In the comments here, we've got a lot of people saying it's looking sloppy. They're saying slop is a stock up. They're saying non-slop is a stock down. Mathis stock down. All of the front seven is stock down.
The defense really wasn't as good as the numbers would indicate. If you were looking at just the points per game, the defense was not good. It wasn't good today. And Zach, I wanted to bring that to you because we were talking a little bit about that pre-show. Let me know how bad it was.
Yeah, I'll get into this game specifically in a second, but a little soapbox really quick. People, you got to start looking at points per drive and not points per game. If you look at they scored only 17 points, the offense was terrible today, but the defense held them to only 16 points. So the defense was pretty good. And it's like, no, pace of play is so huge in these things. The Broncos, I don't even know if they forced the Raiders to punt. It was horrible. The Raiders got into, there was a punt. I take that back. There was a punt. But on every drive but one, outside of the one where the Raiders just had one play, kneeled it down, sent it to the half, every other drive, the Raiders entered Broncos territory. Um, uh, I think on 4 of their 6 possessions, 6 real possessions, again, I'm not counting that 7th one where they just kneeled down, 4 of their 6 real possessions, they entered the Broncos 10. I think they, if you wanted to be even more specific, they entered the Broncos 7-yard line. It's really concerning. And I do think this is maybe the drop off from Vic Fangio, Giro Evero that we're finally feeling now. Though I'll dive into that more when I get to my stock now.
Wasn't it only 6 possessions each side?
Yeah, well, the Raiders had, I think, 8 or 7. They had 7, but one of those again is that end of half one.
They had 6, right? I think that if that's not right, it's really
the Broncos.
right.
The Broncos drives. Shoot, sorry, Joey. The Broncos drives go touchdown, punt from the Raiders 48-yard line, touchdown, a missed field goal from the Raiders 37, a field goal from the Raiders 5, and then the punt from Denver's 32 to end the game. So up until that final drive of the game, they, got onto the Raiders side of the field every single time. And that second punt, if you remember, was just because that drive absolutely imploded. Was an absolute tire fire. Before then, they probably crossed the Raiders 40-35. I don't have the number right in front of me, but they moved the ball pretty well.
Yeah, exactly. Like it just, I don't know. It's frustrating. I feel like the Vance Joseph hate's going to come down the pipeline here once people, you just look at the scoreboard and you're like, where was our offense? That wasn't necessarily the case today. It really, really wasn't. That's one thing I have to point out. It just wasn't. It really wasn't. It wasn't 3-and-out Broncos, 3-and-out Broncos, 3-and-out Broncos like it has been in years in the past. It was really long drives on both sides of the dirt field. That's what took up the game, and it made the score low. I don't know. People want to say they want to live by the run game. They just want to move the ball. That's kind of what happened today. The issue is our defense couldn't turn the ball over. They couldn't stop the ball. They couldn't get a 3-and-out. It was very similar on both sides offensively. So I don't know. There's a lot of stock downs here. Zach, what is your stock down?
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of stock downs. I'll go to your stock down or stock up first, but really quick, underlining what you said about Jacoby Myers and Damari Mathis, that matchup. Jacoby Myers should not be going for 9 receptions, 81 yards, 2 touchdowns. When he was targeted on the day, when Jimmy Garoppolo looked Jacoby Myers' way, he's 9 of 10 for 81 yards, so 8 yards per attempt with 2 touchdowns. That's probably a perfect passer rating, if not just like a shade below.
It's not even like he had any PBUs in there. Nah, that was just Jacoby Myers catching the football on Damari Mathis. That's what that was.
And the thing is, if a cornerback's not a position where you're probably signing off a guy off the street and fixing it. I mean, maybe like Riley Moss is an amazing rookie and fixes it for you. Maybe Bradley Roby has something left in the tank, but that could be a scary problem all season long. Give me your stock up though, Joey. Let's get a little uplifting here.
My stock up is definitely Patrick Surtain. The guy is unreal, Zach. If I were just looking at the positives, it feels like last year now. This is where it does feel like last year, is that I'm living and dying with my stock up being Patrick Surtain. I think there was 1 week last year where he wasn't in our stock ups. Surtain is just unreal. He was so good against Davante Adams this year, and I want this game, and I want people to recognize Davante Adams might be the best in the game, and I'm not exaggerating. There's a real argument for Davante Adams being the best wide receiver in the game. When you just talk about ability to get open, like what are you trying to do as a receiver? Get open, and who does that better than anybody in the NFL? It's Davante Adams. His route running is unbelievable. There's nothing you could do. I mean, the play that sticks out to me, just off the top of my head, I obviously haven't watched the film yet, was the flea flicker. He smothered him. Long frame, got his hand up, tipped that away. There was also a slant, tipped it away. He was unbelievable. And you just wish you had someone I'm going back to the stock down now, across from him to even match that a little bit. If they had somebody to just get them off the field every once in a while, the Broncos win this football game. They really do. So my stock up is definitely Patrick Surtain. If you needed any more reason to believe that Surtain is the best corner in football, he played arguably the best wide receiver in football today, and Surtain got the better of him. He just did. He was better.
Yeah.
He was the better player today. So Surtain is unbelievable. I'm so happy the Broncos drafted him, especially with the way Justin Fields is looking. I'll admit when I was wrong. I wanted Justin Fields to throw Patrick Surtain, and now I'm starting to feel like a fucking idiot for that because Patrick Surtain, I mean, there's going to be a day where I'm going to be arguing, is Patrick Surtain the best defensive player in football? That there's an argument there. That might even happen this season. If Patrick Surtain continues the way he played today for the rest of the NFL season, I might be arguing that now. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah, it was remarkable. You know, Devontae Adams, some people might just look at Devontae Adams' stats and go like, oh, he had a solid day. So Surtain didn't lock him up. No, they were scheming up matchups. So Devontae Adams didn't have to see Patrick Surtain when those two were matched up with each other.
Especially in the second half.
What was going on there?
Especially in the second half, they were really scheming him against Patrick Surtain. How much I bet you if you looked at the numbers, and we'll get the numbers later. So all of this, we're potted. This could all be false. But from my view, in the second half, Devontae Adams was in that slot a lot more than in the first half, trying to get him away from Patrick Surtain. And then when they started trailing Patrick Surtain with Devontae Adams on both sides, it was like, okay, now we're going to the slot. What is there to say about Patrick Surtain at this point, Zach? He's unfucking believable.
He's awesome. They got to pay him soon, honestly, because this is a guy with no injury red flags, no off-field red flags. Like, yes, something crazy and unexpected could come up, but pay him early, frankly, because it's only going to get more expensive as time goes on, as we see with all these different positions and markets. I'll be depressing again, get us into stock down. I'm going to go with the injuries. I was initially going to go with Vance Joseph. We kind of already talked about the defense and their struggles and how the Raiders tore him up. So I'll go with the injuries. Okay. Caden Stearns, I thought, was going to have a huge role in this defense this year. For the start of his career, has had a limited role, but whenever he's been asked to step up, whether it be play as the dime defender, play as the nickel defender, fill in for Justin Simmons for the first quarter of the season because he's injured, I thought he's done unbelievably well. I think he should be a plus starter in the NFL once he gets the opportunity to do so. Very early in this game, goes down with a knee injury, had to get carted off the field. As of now, I haven't seen any additional update on that. Again, we are recording like as the press conferences are going on. So, this is a developing situation. We'll dive deeper into it tomorrow, but did not look good. Hoping for the best there, but I'm very scared. The Broncos might have lost Caden Stearns for the season. Fortunately for them, it's a deep position. But I think he's a difference-making player, and I do wonder about putting 1,000 snaps on Kareem Jackson's plate at this point in his career. That is a concerning idea to me.
Yep.
And then you have the Greg Dulcich one too. Was amazing last season. One of the better, like on a per game basis, one of the best rookie seasons we've seen from a tight end. The reason I have to qualify that with on a per game basis is because he was injured a lot because he was dealing with this hamstring injury. Seemed healthy all throughout camp. Everything seemed like it was rolling great. Hamstrings came back to bite him yet again. And I'm hoping that one goes away quickly too, but I'm worried that that's going to mar his whole season now.
Yeah, Dulcich had a good first half too, Zach. I thought he had a productive first half. If I remember 2 receptions on that. And then it was painful. Here's the part that you don't realize with injuries is like, who the hell's stepping in for him, right? And that man was Adam Trotman today. And I had a tweet. I was like, Adam Trotman is a great example that if you can do anything after the catch, you'll probably make yourself on a roster at the tight end position because that man was a board just falling over. Every time someone would touch him, bop, I'm falling on my back. Like there was nothing he could do after the catch. There was even a third down conversion where Russ threw it short of the sticks. It looked like a good play to me. He tried to hit the stiff arm out there, but just like every other catch he had, blop on the ground. It's every single time. If you're looking for someone to create after the catch, Adam Trotman is not that guy. Whereas Greg Dulcich has a little more fluidity and just he gets more open than Adam Trotman does. That's something that is underrated about him. He's just a better receiving tight end. If you were looking for a receiving tight end on this roster, it's Greg Dulcich, and it's not even close. It's not even close. So, yeah, it is a sucky injury. Yeah.
You highlighted the stuff before the catch point and at the catch point. After the catch point, I felt is an area where I really noticed the difference today with Adam Troutman.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, every time he caught the ball, one time he tried to like juke out. I forget if it was a DB or a linebacker, but it's like, no, man, no, run hard forward and hope your momentum carries you to that first down because you're not juking out a guy to get there. You're not making a move on anyone. I think he's a fine tight end, but Dulcich brought that element to the offense. And again, it seems like it's a hamstring, but those can nag all season long. And now you're looking at Judy, one of your most exciting weapons dealing with that. Sorry, Joey. Dulcich, one of your most exciting weapons dealing with a hamstring. Patrick's already done for the year. Goodness, give us a break.
Zach, are you any way regretting the trade of Albert O at this point? Just a follow-up question to that. Do you wish the Broncos had Albert O right now?
Yes, but like hindsight being 2020, if they kept Albert O and dropped Nate Adkins and he got signed away, I guess that's probably less likely, and he got signed away somewhere. And then you lost like Manhurts or you lost Troutman or something. You might be sweating that and being like, oh man, I wish we kept that guy. So yeah, I think you definitely regret it some now, but I don't know. It'd be one thing if Dulcich was having these problems in August and it was more foreseeable. Maybe you can just point back to last year, but I don't know. I wouldn't be as concerned about that one.
Okay, got you. I mean, it's just like I was watching Manhurts today, and it's not like Manhurts had a very even impressive day blocking, and that's what I want from him.
No, that's a fair point.
And in the future, Zach.
Sorry, Joey. I meant to mute myself, and
what the hell?
You
didn't like my Manhurts talk.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I need my Manhurts love. I got to. I'm a staunch defender.
No, man, but like it was like, and I expect Manhurts to be better, is what I was saying. I think that throughout the season he's going to be a better blocker. Today, though, didn't look it, which raises concern at least, especially when you drop maybe your best preseason performer up there with Jaleel McLaughlin. I would say at least in your top 5 preseason performers, Albert O was definitely up there. So it just makes it a little tough. Like, especially when you lose the one guy that he could probably help replace. To one guy. So, yeah, I mean, it makes it tough. It just makes it tough out here.
No, I'm with you. Here, I'm ending it on a positive note. Goodness, I should have gotten into this sooner. Russell Wilson. Like it's the low hanging fruit, but we got to talk about it. Russell Wilson was awesome today. That's pretty much it. I liked how much better he moved in the pocket. I thought in the preseason we saw the improved movement, but I wanted to see him doing some more improved quarterbacking. And I thought we saw that today. The arm looks a good bit better. Better zip on the passes. I thought they were more accurate. I think it's fair to wonder if Sean Payton can put these training wheels on a quarterback, would you rather just give him a cheap quarterback and let him put the training wheels on that guy? But Russell Wilson looked awesome today, and I think was maybe the most positive aspect of the Broncos day, which was never the case last year. And I'm happy to finally be saying that about Russell Wilson.
I thought Russ looked better as well. I thought Russ looked pretty good, honestly. You know what shocked me, Zach? We've had so much conversation here on this podcast about how bad Russ looks in quick game last year. You know where an area he looked pretty good in this game was in quick game. Sean Payton was
been bad his whole career.
What was that?
He's been bad. Sorry to cut you up, but it wasn't just last year like a Hackett thing. Russell Wilson, notoriously, his entire career has been pretty bad in quick game.
Yeah, he looked pretty solid in quick game today. Matter of fact, I would say that's where he was living and dying most of this game, was in quick game, especially that first half. He was really going off the quick game, so that was really good to see. That's going to offset. Like, what do people say? An extension of your run is the quick pass game. And if the Broncos can run the ball effectively and just, have an effective, quick game in the pass, they have a chance to be an effective offense this year. I think they'll be at least effective on offense. I'm more worried about the defense. But yeah, like you said, I am pretty stock up on Russ. I thought the improvement in his ability to move was very noticeable. His 2 touchdown passes were off of him scrambling. They were almost the exact same play, it looked like, scrambling to the right, back of the end zone, off a really deep kind of end on the back of it, off a scramble drill. And that's what Russ did. And he made a perfect pass on both of those. It's stuff we didn't see last year, where it kind of looked like he was in quicksand last year, honestly, trying to create after that. If the first read wasn't there, what does Russ do? It was really scary. In this game, it looked better. I was quite happy with it, honestly. And I think a lot of that also has to do with Sean Payton. So I guess if we're going to give a Russell Wilson a little bit of a stock up, I'm not going to give Sean Payton a stock up as a coach, because he lost the game. I can't do it. But I will give the offensive play calling a stock up. I think that was a lot better than – I think Sean Payton called a better game this game than we saw all of last year.
Yeah, and I agree. And you look at Joe Lombardi coming over from the Chargers, was just fired for maybe limiting Justin Herbert. I think he did limit Justin Herbert, comes over here, teaming up with Sean Payton again, and the early returns on Russ are really good. I do want to try and keep this show very quick and not go over 20 minutes. I just did a bad job hosting and driving us this first time. So Joey, shout out all your work, and then I think we'll get out of here.
Yeah, guys, I'm not even going to shout out my work. If you like and subscribe right now, if you like Broncos content, we're dropping almost 5 days a week on here. Literally all the time. We're going live tomorrow.
Not even almost.
It's going to be 6. A long podcast. Yeah, we're going live all the fucking time. And Zach has a CU podcast if you're in the buff. So subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel. That's all I got. Zach's going to be doing this once a week. We're here all the time. Right after game day, Zach's here for Stock Up, Stock Down, rotating guest.
Yep. Just beautiful promo. Exactly what he said. Every week, Sunday after the game, as soon as I can get the broadcast set up and the stream set up and everything, we'll be going live post game. Me, rotating guest, quick show. We have almost daily content. Saturday is the only day off from Let's Talk Broncos. We'll have Stock Up, Stock Down on Sundays. We'll have the normal Let's Talk Broncos show Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then we have Buffs Tuesday night. We've got the Thursday show with Frankie and Joey giving you the X's and O's of the game on Thursday night. I mean, you're covered amazingly here. Subscribe, hit the bell. If you like the audio format better, that's great too. Rate us 5 stars, all that good stuff. Thank you, everyone, for supporting us. Oh, and Discord. We need to update the Discord link in the link tree, but go to our link tree, find all our socials, TikTok, Instagram. We're getting more active on everything. Thank you, everyone, for the support. It means so much to us. This season is going, we're having a great time with LTB, and yeah, just thank you all very much. Bree and the rest of us will be back tomorrow night. See y'all. Bye. Go Broncos.